a 5-foot ladder, standing next to the dead body as the sniper team was looking at the shooter. Oh, yeah, Run DMC. Might as well be rapping what the heads of the national security agencies are saying right now as Secret Service Director Cheadle is answering questions on the Hill and is getting spun like a top. This woman acts like she knows nothing, and yet we all know she knows exactly what the plan was. And that was to make sure that Donald Trump was whacked that day on the stage in Butler County, Pennsylvania. No doubt about it in my mind. But in the few days that followed, when Secret Service wouldn't even conduct a press conference, wouldn't even say anything publicly, oh, man, Sid Rosenberg, defender of all things law enforcement in dealing with public safety, to a fault, just like Peter King and others here, they can see nothing wrong with being a police officer or a member of public safety at the national, state, county, or city level. They couldn't be more hopelessly wrong. What the hell is wrong with you, Sid? A kid, right? A nerd, a dweeb gets 130 yards out for 26 minutes. They took pictures of him twice. 26 minutes. He's on his phone. He's staking out the area. He brings a backpack. He's got a gun. He's doing a bear crawl on the roof.
Okay, so tell me, I know what happened. So tell me this then, because I think you sound crazy. I think you all do.
Oh, you
but
think
that's
I
fine.
sound
you
crazy,
sound crazy,
right?
You sound crazy.
We're all crazy. Every day we're getting more and more information that makes it seem that Sid Rosenberg is joined the deniers. The deniers, and just saying, oh, it's just incompetency. Get out of here. And in fact, he hung up on me while broadcasting from Milwaukee on Thursday, introduced me to Mr. Click.
Give me the scenario.
Sid, let me ask you a question.
Why are they Curtis, don't answer my question.
Why are they closing this investigation on this guy now? Why? Why? You really believe there were no connections?
Curtis, don't answer my question with a question. If you're going to go out there and you're not alone and talk about an inside job, which I think is ridiculous.
Yeah, he thinks it's ridiculous. And yet, I'm sure Sid is wondering now, as the person that he regards as incompetent is stumbling and fumbling her way through this inquisition. Just maybe I and others are onto something, like the U.S. Senator he was interviewing earlier today in the 9 o'clock hour, Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, just maybe. But no. Who does he follow? He follows his benefactor, Bill O'Reilly, who's made a ton of money writing books about conspiracy. But when it comes to this attempted assassination of Donald Trump, he acts like it's all incompetency. And the moment that I tie him in to Sid and I call them the Beavis and Butthead of this investigation of the Trump attempted assassination, look how sarcastically he comes back at me.
I have one question for you before we begin.
Sure.
All right. Does Sliwa consume LSD before sits down with you in the morning?
Now, you see, if Joe Nolan, the traffic guy, knew that I was taking ayahuasca like Aaron Rodgers of the Jets, he would have no problem with that, right? Am I right on that, Justin Ellick? He would have no problem whatsoever with that. Notice the sarcasm dripping from their lips. And yet, even before this hearing today, that Cheadle did not want to come before, Wild Horses had a dragger before the House committee. Here was Kimberly Cheadle on her only public comment about the attempted assassination and why the Secret Service didn't have anybody on the roof of the building where the dweeb, the nerd, the schmendrick, the pisher had an AR-15 and took 8 shots at President Donald Trump, hitting him with the first shot.
Should that roof have been secure, period? That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
Does she think we're all stupid? Of course she does. We've seen the pictures. Her Secret Service sniper team was actually on the building opposite Trump that had a sloped roof. Yet she figured, I got to buy myself time. And then today, in the initial cross-examination, she couldn't even answer the most simple of questions. As Director of Secret Service.
Did the Secret Service have an agent on top of that roof?
Sir, I'm sure, as you can imagine, that we are just 9 days out from this incident, and there's still an ongoing investigation. And so I want to make sure that any information that we are providing to you is factual.
You can't, okay.
9 days out, and she still can't say if there was a Secret Service agent position on the rooftop where eventually the 20-year-old nerd took 8 shots at Donald Trump, almost killing him. Can't answer that. She goes on again to insist she nor does the agency know.
Why did the Secret Service not? Can you answer why the Secret Service didn't place a single agent on the roof?
We are still looking into the advanced process and the decisions that were made.
Okay.
Okay. 9 days later. Simple question. Why didn't you put somebody from the Secret Service on that rooftop? And then she took a timeout. Like a kid needs a timeout when all of a sudden they know they're going to get spanked or they're going to be put in the corner. And she wants everybody to know what a great director of the U.S. Secret Service she is.
I have no doubt that the processes that I have implemented during my tenure as director, in addition to my nearly 30 years of experience in this agency, have positioned the Secret Service to be stronger. Our mission is not political. It is literally a matter of life and death.
Oh, I feel so much better, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? And then she adds insult to injury and says she's actually proud of the job that the Secret Service has done in protecting Donald Trump, including on that day in question 9 days ago in the cow fields of Butler, Pennsylvania.
I am proud beyond words of the actions taken by the former president's detail, the counter-sniper team who neutralized the gunman, and the tactical team who was prepared to act.
And let's start counting it down here. It's 24, right? Jack Bauer. Very good call there, Lou Ruffino. Secret Service was notified by Pennsylvania State Police of a suspicious person with a rangefinder on the grounds 20 minutes before the shooter fires on Trump. Nothing done. 3 foreign encrypted platforms existed by the shooter that put him in touch with people by phone involving both Denmark, Germany, and other countries. The FBI has said they don't want conspiracy theories to emerge. That's why they're not answering questions. Well, all they do is propagate more. She's asked the question, why is the sound of the first few shots so different as the last shots? In fact, leading some people to believe that there were 3 different people firing shots. She's stymied. What about the multiple requests that Team Trump had made, the MAGA people, to increase the security around Donald Trump, especially in the aftermath of a month ago when the Ayatollah Khomeini put a fatwa on Donald Trump after he eviscerated Joe Biden in that debate in the studios of CNN in Fulton County in Atlanta, because they understood at that moment Donald Trump was on his way to becoming president of the United States, cutting off their ability to sell their oil and putting them on the brink of economic annihilation. The Ayatollah turned to the other Ayatollahs in Tehran and said, we got to whack this guy. I'm putting a fatwa on him like I did Salman Rushdie, except we're prioritizing this. And what did the head of the Secret Service say, Cheeto? She said, oh, no, we had increased the number of Secret Service agencies after. Washington Post reports that's a lie, that in fact Team Trump did request additional Secret Service, especially after Iran threatened his life, and they were given ugats. They were given bupkis. Another question, snipers had the gunman in their sights, requested permission to shoot, and it was never given. Apparently, the sniper finally decided on his own that he would shoot this Pisher, this Schmendrick, this dweeb. He fired, and apparently another sniper squad, unaffiliated with Secret Service, affiliated with the Butler County Sheriff's Department, they claim fired simultaneously. They want credit for the hit. The Secret Service wants credit for the hit. That meant that at one point you had 3 gunmen firing simultaneously, which leads one to believe that when everybody has been saying the sound of the first few shots were different than the last few shots, that in fact those speculating are correct, and the Secret Service is covering it up. And this goes on and on. Ask the question, how is it that the shooter was able to get access to the cow field hours before the presentation that Donald Trump made before 50,000 MAGA supporters, and was flying a drone openly, knowingly, and no one approached him and said, hey, buddy, what are you doing? This is a secured area. Nothing. What about the AR-15? The shooter was seen with virtually everything else. Backpack, rangefinder. He was on a bicycle. He was doing surveillance. He was flying a drone. All of this hours before Donald Trump came onto that stage at 6:02. Did anybody approach him? Did anybody from law enforcement approach him and ask him, what the hell is he doing? No answers. Someone on the water tower. Who is that person that was pictured on the water tower? No answers. Who was the guy in the gray sports jacket who had climbed the ladder that had been purchased by the shooter that same morning, that Saturday, from a nearby Home Depot, a 5-foot ladder, standing next to the dead body as the sniper team was looking at the shooter and telling them to call this 215 phone number and send him photos? Who is that person? No answer. Secret Service has gone dark. The Secret Service is part of this cover-up, this whitewash, part of the agencies that clearly wanted to see Donald Trump dead. There's no doubt in my mind. From the time that 51 directors and former directors of national security agencies wrote a letter on behalf of then Vice President Biden running against President Trump that the laptop of Hunter Biden was Russian disinformation, and it was only certified recently that, in fact, that was a lie. No apologies. They dug in. They wanted Trump whacked. Call me a conspiratorialist, but I've been involved in politics like so few out there at the highest levels. And I've been involved in battling organized crime. As you know, Justin Ellick, I show the wounds. 5 hollow point bullets that almost took my life. And yet I don't see any difference between how organized crime operates and how the body politique operates on both sides of the parameter, both Democrats and Republicans. It's coming from me, somebody who knows. Want to call me a conspiratorialist, Sid? Bill O'Reilly, the Beavis and Butthead of denial? Well, go ahead. Continue to deny what is so obvious to so many Americans. It's your guardian angel, Curtis Sliwa here, reminding you to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a beat of the action here at 77 WABC Radio. Thanks for joining us. And until next time on the Rip and Read, stay safe and stay informed.